They were digging deep into the garden shaft in the hopes of finding gold or hidden artifacts, but instead they found a dark passageway from the 17th century connected to a section called the Baby Blob. The passage had odd gaps, and the walls and ceiling were broken apart, indicating that the passage had been intentionally damaged. Lagena and his crew made a terrifying discovery at Smith's Cove, which is a site that is famous for its fabled treasure stash from the 18th century. The team continued to dig, taking samples every 10 feet and examining every piece of soil. As they continued, they came across flood tunnels that had haunted treasure hunters for centuries. With modern technology and experience, the team had the upper hand in detecting gold and silver. As they continued to drill, they discovered more old wooden beams that were part of a well-thought-out structure. The team was excited to discover that these beams were part of a structure that had been forgotten for a long time, possibly hiding treasure or something more sinister. They carefully removed the P-beams in the hopes that dating them would provide more insight into the timeline. As they continued to dig, they discovered pieces of wood that had been shaped by ancient tools that were used long before modern machinery. The swamp's strange story unfolded as they continued to dig. The team was on a mission to solve an ancient mystery in a swamp. They discovered ship parts dating back to the 15th century, a brace from a ship with a 9-inch diameter, and a ship's rail triling that was traced back to the 8th century. These discoveries led them to believe that the swamp contained more than just shipwrecks, suggesting that the area had a deeper history. They also discovered a large wooden structure buried in the swamp that reminded them of a dam that had been built to conceal something. Dr. Ian Sponer, a geoscientist, was brought in to assist in dating the wood and investigate whether or not it was connected to the nearby stone road, which is estimated to be around 500 years old. If the two were connected, it would indicate that the area had been a center of activity centuries ago. The swamp seemed to have a mind of its own, hiding something that no one was meant to find. Cuba and Fiona discovered a button that was covered in gold, which was reminiscent of a period in history when the Royal Navy ruled the seas. Marty and Rick were working on the southern portion of the swamp when they discovered a wooden structure that was concealed beneath a stone road. The craftsmanship reminded them of old cabins where every piece had a place, gemstone or glass gemstone, while Fiona says it might have been from a ring or necklace. Over the past 10 years, the Legas and their team have found numerous items of treasure throughout Oak Island, including gold-plated buttons, silver coins, and gemstones. The team is committed to finding answers to these questions as they continue to investigate the swamp and its possible treasure caches. One such find, which was made on Lot 21 in 2018, is thought to be at least 500 years old. It is a stunning and priceless treasure. The following day, archaeologist Lars Nien and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan joined the team to examine an artifact that resembled a glass gem close to Lot 5's spherical feature. The artifact has a significant amount of lead, which is uncommon in modern glass, particularly glassware. The artifact, known as paste, is made of ground-up, highly Li-containing flint glass that was pressed into a mold. Gorg in French jewelry. Early in the 18th century, Friedrich Struss made imitation jewels by mixing lead and bismuth with powdered glass. Perhaps during an effort to bury treasures, the circular feature on Lot the 5th of May have served as a camp. The Pit of Money. The fact that the mortar-like material discovered in the round feature matches soil samples found both nearby and deep underground, where a large-scale excavation is currently taking place, emphasizes that someone of significance was present and that someone wealthy had dug everywhere. The province attested that this was the first of these items they had discovered. Marty thinks that this is one of the most important things on Lot 5. The team's data and analysis are something to think about, but they intend to keep looking for more treasure and locate the treasure's siblings. In 2020, Rick Lagena, a metal detection expert, and Billy Gart are looking for clues at the southern border of a mysterious triangle-shaped swamp. They have found ship-related artifacts and wood from ships that date back to the 15th and 18th centuries, as well as a piece of ship railing near the southern border that was carbon-dated to as early as the 8th century. Given Dr. Doug Simmons's theory that the medieval Viking culture may be connected to the Oak Island mystery, the team is eager to find more evidence of a sailing vessel in the swamp, and they are wondering if they have found more evidence of a sailing vessel there and who the visitors were. With dates from 700 AD found on the ship's railing and 120-200 dates found in the swamp, The Oak Island team thinks this is a very old mystery. There are compelling indications that there was activity there from the beginning, but to what extent this adds intrigue to the search? The team is eager ship railing near the southern border that was carbon dated to as early as the 8th century. Given Dr. Doug Simmons's theory that the medieval Viking culture may be connected to the Oak Island mystery, the team is eager to find more evidence of a sailing vessel in the swamp, and they are wondering if they have found more evidence of a sailing vessel there and who the visitors were. With dates from 700 AD found on the ship's railing and 120-200 dates found in the swamp, the Oak Island team thinks this is a very old mystery. There are compelling indications that there was activity there from the beginning, but to what extent this adds intrigue to the search? The team is eager to see what other potential clues they may find in the area. In conclusion, the Oak Island team is actively searching for clues at the southern border of the swamp, using various methods to uncover clues and examining the historical context of the swamp more than 30 years ago. Billy is digging in the swamp, and they find horizontal and vertical boards, as well as a wall of a shaft or retaining wall. It's possible that Fred probed this wall when he believed he hit the wall. Fred Nolan, a treasure hunter and landlord of Oak Island, found a wooden wall or dam in the marsh that he thought was proof of an artificial structure built years ago to conceal something valuable. The team is currently looking into whether they have discovered a portion of the same construct and, if so, whether it is connected to the possibly 1250-year-old ship railing fragment discovered nearby in 2020. Geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner has been invited by Gary and LagIna to examine the feature. The team is also interested in finding something that connects the stone road to something else, like a loading and unloading platform. If this is as old as the stone road, it could have been used for unloading goods and constructing other structures. They are particularly interested in the red material beneath the stone road, which may be from around the same time period as the wooden tunnel beneath the garden shaft. If we begin to see that red material inside and around that wood structure, that could put it even further back in time. The southeast corner of the marsh is poorly understood. In order to determine whether humans had previously explored the deep cave and whether there were any hidden routes that might lead them farther into the earth, the team enlisted imaging specialist Blaine Carr to assist them. They also received an exciting report from Aiden Technologies that revealed numerous possible treasure targets. The team concentrated on Aladdin's Cave, a recently found location that provided intriguing new clues. They explored the cave using a high-definition camera, which was crucial in figuring out whether humans had previously been inside it. Created thorough scans of Aladdin's Cave using sonar equipment, which could aid in their comprehension of its layout and possible historical applications. The team used a sonar device called the Echologger D710 to create a 3D map of the underwater spaces required to explore Oak Island's hidden treasures after discovering evidence of man-made structures inside Aladdin's Cave. This allowed them to fully assess the cave's size and potential hidden tunnels leading to other parts of the island. After the sonar scan, they discovered a man-made entrance going into a cave that appeared to have formed naturally. This knowledge gave them a better idea of how everything was related and might help them locate potential routes connecting to other hidden sections of the island. They were energized by this discovery and believed they were approaching a significant discovery. On Oak Island, an isolated island, Rick Marty and the team are looking for a treasure when they come across an old river raft. The iron spike, which may have had a variety of functions prior to the 1840s, corresponds with artifacts gathered by Frank White, an ardent admirer of Oak Island's past. A blacksmith specialist named Carmen Legg determines that the item is a 4-inch long wedge with a ring surrounding it. Carmen speculates that this wedge was most likely utilized on the island for woodworking or construction, either keeping logs together or secretly curing building components. The team is eager to investigate the depths of the tunnel until they discover an unanticipated water leak from the tunnel's soil. Roger suggests drilling about 9 huge holes in the impacted wall and filling them with urethane in order to stop the water. This technique found to have a land that was uncovered by a group of researchers in close proximity to a huge boulder. They found a rusty iron nail embedded in wood, white, and blue pottery, and a clay pipe stem, all of which pointed to the possibility of a historical dumping position. It was revealed that there was a narrative that had been buried in the marsh when fragments of antique glass bottles emerged from the muck. A metal detector produced a strong signal of the presence of metal, which led to the discovery of an item in the form of a disc with a hole in the middle that resembled an old Chinese currency. The crew is currently waiting for the Interpretative Center to release the study's findings, which will provide more clues regarding the discovery and an insight into the lives of Oak Island's early residents. It is possible that the area was a historical trade center that was inspired by either a shipwreck or the actions of the indigenous people who lived there. A large piece of pottery was discovered buried in the wet earth, indicating that it was most likely a significant cooking vessel that was used in the late 1700s. The group hypothesized that this item may have been concealed by someone, possibly a treasure hunter, or that it might have been possessed by the first people to arrive on the island.
They discovered the first trace of gold. The results of their rigorous examination of this new source of metal are even more astounding. It contains 0.2% gold, a significantly higher percentage than the previous find. This revelation represents a major breakthrough, as trace amounts of gold are now confirmed on Oak Island. From traces of gold to ancient coins and a possible connection to the Knights Templar, these were some of the most shocking moments of Oak Island brothers. With each discovery, we were reminded that this treasure hunt is far from over, and the mysteries of Oak Island remain as enthralling as ever, including the area's possible link to a money pit. I had a good sense about this lot, especially since there are so many flags to pursue. Are you prepared to get your teeth stuck in? Then we should proceed. A significant ship find alters everything. The Curse of Oak Island's 8th season centers on the discovery of a significant ship that could change the course of the inquiry completely. The gang discovers a polished piece of wood that resembles a handrail, which prompts them to surmise that it was once a section of a ship's railing that was attached to the surrounding stone road. This finding adds to the body of data that suggests the wetland once served as an open seaport. However, a large object is impeding their efforts and keeping them from going any further. The gang remains unwavering in their resolve to explore the marsh and learn what lies beneath its surface despite this obstacle.
Countered obstacles like sticks and mud when they found a large stone area created by people near the swamp's eye and boulders that appeared to be uncovered stones. Dr. Ian Spooner, an expert in rocks and soil, thought the swamp was created by humans long ago. The team also found large rocks that resembled those found in Nolan's Cross and blue clay on them. The team then proceeded to investigate further 1,000 meters away in Traverse City, after Dr. Spooner suggested that the stones might have been placed there on purpose. They had a crucial conversation with Mark Monahan of Irving Equipment Limited regarding the steel coffer dam near Smith's Cove. The government permit for the dam was about to expire, so the team needed to move quickly to remove it and adhere to environmental regulations. The team is committed to finding a boat in Smith's Cove and safely removing the dam because time is running out, and they want to make it all work out and discover the hidden treasure. Two team members, Rick and Billy, were going on an adventure to discover the secrets hidden beneath Oak Island. They were assigned to find a tunnel that brought seawater into the Money Pit, a location where they had found numerous old wooden structures. They weren't sure if they were dealing with a tunnel or a wall, but as they dug deeper, they came across a sturdy wall that didn't look like a typical tunnel. Intrigued, they decided to investigate further, and they discovered a wooden shaft that added a new twist to their search for treasure. Peter Brunetti and Alex Lagena were searching the Uplands region for information regarding D. One of the first people to find the Money Pit was Daniel McInnes. In 1795, when exploring the Uplands, they came across a building with a wall but no windows, which they believed to be a clue to the Mrs. family's secrets. In the war room, friends Rick Lagena and Gary Drayton find an LED artifact near the Money Pit area. Test results using a laser show that the artifact is made of lead and contains mercury and tin. The friends are perplexed by this discovery and debate several theories. The team hoped that this was only the beginning of solving the mystery, and were eager to follow any trails and learn more about the Mex's family as time ran out. Some people think Bacon buried treasures on Oak Island, possibly in a vault guarded by a unique element called mercury. Another theory holds that Sir Francis Bacon, a well-known figure from England in the 1600s, utilized mercury to preserve crucial documents. Another discovery is a lead cross that is 700 years old. As they continue their search, they find a large house and other old items, but the McInnes Foundation, a special location protected by the government, makes the treasure hunt even more intriguing. From a distant place, a team racing against time finds a hidden door near an old home, possibly a secret basement. They also find an old fancy knife that they believe was a special piece of history. A group of geologists, led by geologist Terry, explored Oak Island with an emphasis on the history of each discovery. They found a secret tunnel that led to the Money Pit, where they discovered wooden walls that had been handmade